tell the wife, open the door one time, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do something about this.
I don't know which one's actually the butter.
And then the first time you put spaghetti in it,
Oh, it's
already-
it's
you're
done.
gonna-
You're done. I'm
you're
like,
gonna
can
be in
we
trouble.
think
So
about something
we have
else?
switched to deli containers at home.
We
The-
just buy the containers from Costco.
Are they the clear plastic?
Right.
Yeah, like
It's
the-
clear
and the lid's the whole.
The lid's clear and the bottom's black.
Oh, no. I get the deli
Like-
containers like you get from
Oh,
like
yeah.
Neaters or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And we have like 3 sizes. The
Mhm.
lids are all the same. That's it. It's a quart, a pint, and a half pint.
We went to glass.
Um,
Well,
We just went to
I
glass.
still have adult children at home that don't return.
the black ones are probably good because they're gone.
Oh, yeah, we have adult children too. One lives with us, the other one lived, we went over to his house one day and we're like, the wife goes, do you still have my?
Mhm.
He's like, I don't know. So she started digging through the cabinets.
We have to bring our own to the in-laws now. All right. So we did not turn on our mics last time.
Oh, no.
Mine's on.
Tim, are we rolling? All right. Well, then I will call to order the Tipton County or City of Tipton Board of Zoning Appeals. We can all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We will start with a roll call from my left, please.
Roberta Heinzman,
Jeff Letzinger.
Mike Bowman.
Michelle Owens. Okay, we have a quorum.
All right. Thank you. Do we have any modifications to the agenda tonight? All right. Hearing none. We will move into election of officers as this is our first meeting of the year. It's been a quiet year. So we have three positions: chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. I'll say that Michelle will be leaving us in a month, so we'll be re-electing someone if we choose Michelle. And I'm not saying we can. I just want to make that.
Don't know.
So I'll start with nominations for chair.
I nominate yourself, Mr. Michael Woolman.
All right.
I will second that.
Thank you. Thank you both. Any other nominations? All right. By acclamation, I will remain the chairperson. For vice chair,
Between you guys.
any volunteers?
I volunteer.
All right. I will second Jeff's nomination for vice chair.
Thank you.
Any others? All right, Jeff, congratulations. Secretary, Oksana, just for this, this is not a secretary as in your recording, or this is an additional secretary, I should say.
So, I mean, in the past, technically, it was probably Judy. I think for the
Yep.
record, I would suggest that we assign Tim as the secretary, and
Okay.
then I'm as a staff contracted,
Yep.
we can always pull in whoever is the presenter or staff to serve you.
Okay.
But the official person to be signing papers and maybe have whatever, if
Should
that's
be-
okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Tim.
Well, then I'll nominate Tim as our secretary.
And I'll second that.
Thank you, Jeff. Any others? Congratulations. I would start by, I would also, let's jump into that. Welcome, Tim, as our new building commissioner. Tim, I didn't catch your last name, sorry.
Brad.
Tim Bradford, thank you. Welcome. Look forward to working with you. Moving down the agenda, we have approval of minutes from October of 2025. That was October 8th. Yeah, it was a bit ago.
I reviewed these and I didn't see anything.
Nope.
Nothing's changed since you provided this to us, right, Oksana?
No, I mean, I wasn't at the meeting, so I just took it the way they were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve October the 8th, 2025, BZA minutes. Second.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Roberta. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They are approved. We also had the findings of fact from October 8th. I looked at them. They looked fine to me. I didn't see anything too crazy there.
Make a motion to approve findings of fact, CTI B 2825. I second.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Roberta. All in favor of findings of fact?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have no old business, so that will move us into our new business, which is a development standard variance, and our rules and procedures. So we'll start with our what's it called? Our development standard variance, yes, and we can start with a staff report on that, please.
So Mauricio Gonzalez applied for a few variances. He owns a small lot that is on R2, so it's residential too. He would like to request a reduction in the minimum living area from 1,300 square feet to 600 square feet, a reduction in the side setback from 8 to 7 feet, and a reduction in the street side setback from 15 to 12.5 to fit in a new house. This is according to our new UDO. This is why you'll see citations differently. There are 3 numbers assigned for the variances. So if you were to make a motion, you would need to kind of mention that, all the 3.
We can do 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just split it into 3 in case there is, a debate about which one to approve or not. You can always make a motion to approve everything at once.
Absolutely.
And my staff report it has the analysis and the findings of fact for all of them at the same time.
Mhm.
So just a little bit about the site. The site is, there is a railroad on the north, and the zoning there is light industrial, but then everywhere else you have a residential neighborhood. The lot is a little bit narrow. I mean, it is just in general narrow. It's about 34 to 38 feet wide along the Oak Street, and then it's about 42-ish, 46 feet at the back. And that means that, and it's also a corner lot, which means that with the street setback, you have a very narrow building envelope.
Mhm.
And so fitting a house there is a little bit tight. So I would say that if there was ever a time and place for the variance, this would be the lot. I haven't seen on any records that this lot was developed. It might have been used as a garage site for someone else's, for the site to the south. But I think, obviously, because this site is so tight, it's probably why it wasn't developed. And so I think that this proposal with a smaller house would be okay. I would mention that the reduction from 1,500 to 600 square feet, it's only for the living area. There will be still a 400 square foot attached garage to the house. So the overall footprint of the building is 1,000 square feet. They tried to put the house relatively still kind of in the middle so that it's, not too close to the neighbors. It's only the 8 to 7 foot reduction for basically the garage portion of it. With the reduction in the street side setback from 15 to 12.5, the distance from the house to the street curb will be still at around 20 to 23 feet. And a lot of houses in that area along that Muncie Street are sometimes even closer than that house.
Mhm.
So I think that permitting this reduction would not set a precedent. It would still be in the character of the neighborhood. Finally, we are moving kind of into this era when we have a certain share of people that it's just one person living in a house. And so it would be nice to be able to, for some people to have a smaller house. And so I think this would be a good lot for that. And so for those reasons, basically I kind of lay it out, with the findings of fact, but the staff recommends approval of all of the variances. Just for the record, typically when we have variances of development standards, the BZA needs to make a finding that the 3 criteria are true, and so that the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. And then the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought. And so the staff proposes those findings for you. We have a site plan attached. The applicant provided their own variance criteria. And So if you have any questions, let me know.
I want to say I appreciate the demographics where you gave us how many houses and how big, how many, the size of them. That I didn't know any of that, and that I appreciate that. So let me start by saying that. That said,
Very well put together. Yeah, very well put together. Thank you.
That is something that sort of studying, we do housing studies, and so we
Mhm.
found that that is a big demographic shift that is happening not just nationally, but in communities. And so that's one of the criteria that I check
Yep.
to go in, just to see who possibly could need a house and thus what kind of housing we're looking for. So,
And all the mailings did go out, correct?
all of the mailings went out. We have already affidavits of that and evidence of that. Same as for the newspaper. The
Okay.
newspaper even gave us that
I did
affidavit
see it in the newspaper.
earlier.
Okay.
The Tribune, Chicago.
Tipton Tribune, yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it, yeah.
all right, Mr. Gonzalez, if you'd like to come up and answer any questions we might have, or give us any presentation you'd like to give, you're more than welcome to. Okay,
Really?
that's okay.
Okay.
First of all, let me say that we appreciate you wanting to, invest and build housing. And that's always an important thing from where I sit, and I think the rest of us up here. Do we have any questions for Mr. Gonzalez?
I particularly do not. I think that the information that's been provided is accurate and sufficient for any motions to be made. I personally don't have any questions.
I do have one, Mr. Gonzalez, if you'd come up just so we can hear your answer and she can get it for the minutes later. The house is 12 by 50. It's a small house, and I'm fine with that, especially with knowing, kind of your market, your target for who's going to live there. It's a site-built house, right? It's not a mobile home or anything like that.
Right, it's gonna have a footer, block, foundation.
Okay. Perfect. And you're going to rent this out?
Huh?
You're going to rent this out, or you're going to live there?
That's where I live.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I understood. It could go either way, so just want to make sure. Perfect.
Even better.
Right.
I have no questions,
All
sir.
right. Ms. Berta?
I'm sorry, did you say that all the neighbors' paperwork came back?
Two
Okay.
parcels deep, yeah.
Okay, good enough.
All right. And then at this point, we'll go ahead and open the public comment, public hearing, public comment part. If anybody here from the public would like to speak for or against, please come up. We do have cards that ask you to fill out just so we get your name and address down, but you can do those while we're wrapping things up as well. If you
Okay.
could just tell us who you are and
My name's John Pfeiffer, and this is my wife Susan. We own the adjoining property to where Mo's wanting to build this house.
Sure.
And I had the opportunity to buy that lot years ago, and it's gotten overgrown with trees and shrubs and all kinds, looking pretty rough over there. And he's done a major cleanup on that property already. He's cut all the trees and underbrush off, and he's planted a bunch of bushes and made it look really nice. And I just wanted to say, and as far as we're concerned, having the house right next to it, adjoining to this, and it's right against the railroad tracks, I think it's going to be a major improvement for the neighborhood up there.
great to hear.
So I'd like to, recommend, that you guys please approve his variance applications for him.
We appreciate hearing that.
Thank you, Mr.
Can I
Mayor.
ask you which side
On
of
the
that
south,
property? You're on the south side.
yeah, he's got the railroad tracks
Right.
there to the
Okay.
north, and then he can
On the
install.
other side.
property.
You would probably be the closest one affected, I think, of anyone.
Right.
So,
Absolutely, and the garage that he's building, there's an existing slab there, and it is built almost on the property line, and the garage got burnt down years ago. And there was a trailer on that property years and years back, but that's been gone for a long time. But as far as even the garage, you'd like to have the 24 by 24, but the setback and getting a variance to get it to where it's at now.
Yeah.
He's gonna, propose, I guess, a 20 by 20 instead of a 24. I'm not opposed to him putting it on the property, back on the existing slab. It wouldn't bother me a bit for it to have a 24 by 24 garage with a slab already existing. He's either gonna have 4 or 5 feet, 4 foot of a slab behind there, he's gonna have to cut it off or
Sure.
whatever. So, that's any possibility, if he's wanting to go 24 and you can approve that, I'm in favor of that also.
thank you for speaking. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pfeiffer.
Anyone else would like to come up and speak for or against? Okay, without that, I will say we will close the public hearing without objection, which means we get to talk and figure out what we want to do. Like I said, I'm always in favor of more housing and affordable housing, you know. We need more of it. So,
Absolutely.
with the analysis we have here, I think, you know, the setbacks, again, that part of town, the setbacks are all over the place, so it'll fit in, you know, as long as it's not on the street, it's probably okay.
And
And
it's setback for obstruction. And,
yes,
there's no worries.
no worry on the corner or anything like that.
I think it'll be a good house for even resale. If you
Oh,
ever,
absolutely.
I mean, nice big long driveway, place to turn around.
That's why I wondered if he was going to rent it, because I think, you know,
Yeah.
there's a rental property there too. So,
Absolutely.
but stay there. If you, not kicking you out yet.
No. Just saying, I think for the future, you'll have a good house to sell if you ever do try to sell it
Yeah.
or rent it or whatever. I think it'll have a good outcome for you.
All right. So we have three development standard variances to consider. We can consider all three at once, correct? Or we can consider them one at a time. If anybody wants to make a motion, or do we have any more to discuss? But Mr. Birdie, you didn't speak up, but
I have no,
okay. Just
no.
don't want to leave you out.
Questions, no, nothing. I have no.
Well, I make a motion to approve BDS 01-02-03-2026. That's all three of the variances for approval as they stand.
And I will second that motion.
Okay.
All right. We'll need to do a roll call.
Yes.
Roll call vote.
We will.
Mr. Goldman,
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Heisman. I mean, Ms. Heinz.
Aye.
Mr. Letzinger,
Aye.
Mrs. Owens.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Mhm. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Appreciate
Thank you.
investing in
Thank
us.
you.
All right, we did have another development standard variance that was withdrawn for a driveway variance. It's been withdrawn, so we'll move past that, and we'll move into our rules and procedures. This is not a public hearing. This is just for us to discuss. I will say, if you're on the planning, we did make some changes on planning, and it looks like many of those carried through, and I appreciate that. That saved us some time, maybe.
Yes.
So I personally am okay with them as they are, but obviously we can go through and discuss anything anyone wants. These are our personal rules for this board, so we can change them kind of at will through voting and all that. But this is how we will conduct ourselves. And one thing that I want to point out that we don't have a problem with our current membership, but you know, voting is compulsory, right? You can't just not vote for something. You gotta pick a side.
Yeah.
Yes. So unless you have a conflict, you need to place a vote.
Are these?
And just for the context, because I feel like at the planning commission, I already explained, because we adopted a new UDO, when you have a set of standards there, and then it references the rules of procedure for a lot of the procedures, for applications, for how the hearings are handled, you want to make sure that your rules and procedures actually have that, you know, those procedures. And so we created them to make sure that, you know, the UDO plus the rules of procedures create a full, you know, set of rules for how applications are handled, how the things are handled. They have a little bit more detail just to incorporate some modern practices. And then Mr. Goldman and the Planning Commission provided some feedback in the past of what specifically Tipton boards have learned as lessons and requests, and this is what was incorporated as well.
And this is up for recommendation or for approval?
Approval, because this is you approving it for yourself.
Yeah, it does not leave us.
Okay. You know, it's been reviewed prior to, do either of you, Jeff or Roberta, have any questions about these procedures?
No, I do not.
If you don't have any concerns with them, I make a motion to approve the City of Tipton Board of Zoning Appeals Rules of Procedures.
I will second that.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Roberta. Is it voice vote, or do we need a roll call?
Let's do a voice, I mean,
Roll call.
roll call.
Okay.
Sure. Mr. Goldman,
Aye.
Mrs. Heinzman,
Aye.
Mr. Letzinger,
Aye.
Mrs. Owens.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, that takes us out of our business for the night. Do we have any other public comment tonight? All right, any other discussion from the board?
Just one question, Oksana, should I just send you an email with my resignation?
Yes, please.
So next month will be my last meeting, and then June, I won't be here for June.
Let's send it and then we'll start. I'll see if we need to do anything else.
I'll take that,
But
Mr.
that
Pfeiffer.
will
You can
kickstart
take
the
it.
process.
Either way.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Make note that that's we own that property.
Okay.
We don't live there, it's vacant. We live in Atlanta. We put the street address on the
That's-
property in question.
I appreciate that.
Neighbors, just stand up.
Yeah, very quiet.
Very quiet up there, absolutely. It's more or less a dead end. Tease off, but it is a dead end.
And, you know, tell us your replacement.
Thank you
before
very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before you take off.
Yeah,
All right,
Thank you.
one more motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're gonna have to find a replacement for that.
We're gonna be stuck here.
I know, nobody's gonna.
In June, we're just gonna sit here all night.
Right.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
I've lived here since 62.
I'm glad it all worked out finally. Yes.